Hey y'all, welcome back to another video with Life Chess for Beyond the Gates, May 21st, 2025. Okay, so first of all, let me know your thoughts on today's new episode down below. It was okay. I said everybody in bed alone, ain't it? I think the highlight for me was the Eva and Dana situation, as well as the fact that Haley finally saw Bill handshake, but he just said it was asleep. I was like, she doing something to him. She poisoning him or something. She poisoning him over here trying to hold on. Well, we finna get to that part. So, like I said, first thing first, let me know your thoughts on today's episode down below. So we're gonna start with Ashley and Andre. So Derek did end up leaving y'all. Somebody had said that they think that Derek overheard Andre and Ashley, but they didn't mention it on today's episode. So I'm assuming he didn't hear anything. But yeah, Ashley and Andre, he was still comforting her. He offered to go to the fire station and talk to Derek on her behalf. And he was just being a good friend, allegedly, because we all know he want her. But yeah, he was supporting her and comforting her, letting her know that they're gonna come back, and he'll be a fool if he don't. Y'all know what they be saying all the time. He'll be a fool, and he was just studying up there trying to make it seem like Derek did something wrong. Hold on, the way he was talking, it kind of seemed like he was trying to make it seem like Ashley was in the right and Derek did something wrong. But yeah, she was taking up for Derek. So far, she's still on Derek. So far, they still haven't broken up or whatever. I was suspecting Derek to go over there or Ashley to contact him, but they haven't did it. What is that? Oh, somebody posted on YouTube. I'm moving. I was reading a notification. Somebody posted on YouTube, y'all. But yeah, Andre offered to talk to Derek to go to the fire station. She told him no or whatever. Danny was trying to contact him and he wouldn't answer it. When he finally got on the phone, he was telling her that he was busy. He was busy, excuse me, that he was busy and doing something else or whatever. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I think she gonna actually take Pam's advice. We gotta talk about Bill. I forgot about that part. Bill, he was jealous. He was jealous, mad that Danny decided to kiss Pamela. Danny decides to kiss Pamela, and he was just standing up there. I said, how you gonna leave your wife to come over here and confront your ex-wife? I was like, come on now. I said, how you leave your wife at the table by herself? And she just sitting up there looking. She said, I know doggone well she seen that and heard that. She's sitting over there at the table. I was like, your husband, she should have got up and left then. Your husband just came over here to confront his ex-wife about kissing Pamela or whatever. I said, But yeah, who else we got? Eva, Dana. She was talking to her. She actually confessed. She actually told Eva that she was the one to do it. And she said something about now that she told her that makes her an accessory after the fact. I was like, is that how that work? I don't know. So if you know somebody committed a crime and you don't say nothing, that make you an accessory or what? But yeah, she told her she an accessory after the fact, and she still protected her. Cause like I said, they was talking about it. She was trying to make it seem like Eva the one who ran Laura off the road or whatever. And he was like, you did it. And she finally, wait, I skipped the part. First, Dana was acting like Eva did it, and she offers to cover for her. I said, regardless of the fact that she decided to cover for her mama, that lady gonna go find, especially if she finds out that if Eva actually decides to go talk to Jacob, because Jacob told her, if you think of anything else or you change your mind, give me a call. I said, if she find out, or even if she don't find out, I feel like she gonna frame her. I said, in that moment, she showed you who she was. She told you what she was capable of, and you still trying to protect her. You just have a conversation with Tomas? Then you just have a conversation with Tomas on yesterday's episode about what y'all parents do, and then you still protected her because she told you now they make you accessory after the fact? I said, I don't think it worked like that, because if she had told right then and there, then she would have been able to. I don't know. I don't think that they could arrest her though without a warrant or evidence. I don't think they could arrest her in that moment though. I was about to say he could have just arrested her so she wouldn't go tamper with no evidence. But at this point, she probably already did. But yeah, let me see what happened. Yeah, she admitted to doing that. She admitted to running Laura off the road. Then she says, now that she told you, that makes you an accessory after the fact. And he was like, what? And she just crying and crying and crying or whatever. Then Jacob popped up because somebody had let him know that two persons of interest have a ride somewhere. So he showed up and he wanted to question them. Dana acted like she was leaving. She went head over there. I'm gonna just say in the corner, but she ain't hiding in the corner. But y'all know if y'all seen the episode, she hid. And I was like, but she was standing right there. I was like, look up, please look up before you say something. I was scared. Look, I was scared she was gonna actually say that Dana just confessed to her. But yeah, she hid. They didn't see her over there. So then she went and said at the little booth thing. She went and said at the booth or whatever. And he was just questioning Eva. He was questioning her about where she was. She ends up saying something about she was at the casino for some hours. He asked, when you got home, did you see Leslie or Dana or your mama? Did you see your mom at the house? And she just paused and she was like, no, I just went straight to the room or whatever. And he kept asking about motorcycles. Do either one of y'all ride? I was like, why do people be expecting? Why? I mean, Dana has been running around telling people or implying that she did it though. But I was like, why would they sit up here and be like, yeah, I ride motorcycles? I like Jacob. Why would she tell you that she ride? Wouldn't they give you a hint that she know how to ride motorcycles and she could have did it? He already talking about either one of y'all. I don't know if he said ride motorcycles or own a motorcycle. So she ended up saying, Dana's ex-husband. What's his name? Dog, I just forgot already. What was his name? The ex-husband. She probably the one did something to the ex-husband anyway. Dog, what was his name? The stepfather. I don't know what they said. Didn't they say he passed away? Alan. Didn't they say Alan passed away or something like that? I don't know. But yeah, I said ex-husband too. I think they were still married. If I'm not mistaken, they were still married. I think she said her stepfather owned one or whatever, and then he asked if she rode, and then she covered for her. She said something about Mama said that motorcycles do something. I don't know. She a load of baloney. A load of baloney. I said you trying to protect her, and she finna get ready to go frame you to cover her tail. She finna get ready to frame you. But yeah, like I said, she covered for her. Then Dana gonna come over there and she touched the shoulder. She was like, you still love me. I was like, girl, but you don't love her, and that's the thing. You don't love her because first of all, why would you include her? Why would you include her in your plan all together, especially when you know you was lying? But yeah, she over here to me, you still love me. I was like, until she do something else to upset you. But yeah, hold on, what else happened? Yeah, after that, I think it went off after they showed the scene, and she was crying again. Eva was crying again. I said, "You just sit up there and cover for her," and she just confessed to you. And she the one who told or implied to what's the name? What's the name? Cat. She the one to sit up here and implied to Cat in the first place that she was the one who did it. Oh, that's what she did. When she brought up Cat, she was like, you know, firsthand how she tried to basically smear your name and make it seem like you did this or you did that. And she's like, yeah, I know, or whatever. And I was like, you shouldn't trust nothing this lady said. She just told you that she tried to murder somebody. She just told you what she'll do to anybody to get in her way. And she gonna cover for her. Mm, mm, mm. Who else we got? Danny Pamela. Danny and Pamela, she told Danny about Diego kissing her to make Vanessa jealous and all this stuff. And Danny figured out that, she can't stop thinking about the kiss. But she said that Diego turned her down about the modeling and he couldn't get away from her fast enough. So she just thinking about the kiss. So that's when Danny decided that she was gonna kiss her to make her see, I'm assuming she said something. She kissed her to make her see. She said something about see he's not the last one to kiss you, and she basically was trying to hype her up. I'm gonna just say that I don't know what she was trying to prove with that kiss, but yeah, she kissed her, and at the same time that she kissed, first when Bill and Haley walked in, he was like, he can't go nowhere without his past being thrown in his face. If that was the case, you wouldn't be there. That's the first thing, you wouldn't be there. The second thing is you would have took your tail and your wife somewhere else. Y'all keep saying how y'all tired of the Paris and this and that, but you won't stay out their face. You run around trying to get Martin to be your buddy. You run around at Vernon and Anita house. You run around on today's episode. He came over there. Wait, I skipped the part. After he said that about he can't get nowhere or get away from his past or whatever. Hold on, y'all. After he said he couldn't get away from his past because he seen Danny right there. At the same time, Chelsea had walked up, and that's when Danny kissed Pamela. That's when Danny kissed Pamela or whatever. And then the look on Bill's face, he looked like he was shocked. He looked like he was upset. So then next thing you know, if I'm not mistaken, Bill came over there to confront Danny first. He said something about kissing Pamela. Something he said. Dog, let me see if I wrote it down. Oh, he gonna say some Danny trying to make him jealous while his wife was sitting over there at the table. I said she up to something. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. This should have been the moment that you got upset. This should have been the moment because why is you over? You just said how you just sit up there and said how you wanted to be done with them, which was a lie. Then you sit up there and say you can't get away from your past. Why is you in her face talking about something? You trying to make me jealous? if you don't handle this, if you don't handle this situation, girl, she's just sitting over there at the table. Then he went sit down. I don't know if he apologized or said sorry or he said something. But Chelsea came over there. Hold on. Chelsea felt offended. She came over there to confront her mama and saying that some people, that's her lifestyle or whatever, and they making a mockery of it. That's basically what she said. They making a mockery of it because she was like, we just did it for fun, and I was trying to be there for Pamela and everything. Chelsea wasn't trying to hear none of that. She ended up revealing that she got her heart broke because she confessed her feelings to somebody. I said, but she didn't say, if I'm not mistaken, she didn't say that the lady was married or whatever. But she finally came out to her mom. I thought she knew. I was assuming everybody knew, but then they talked about Bill too, so I'm assuming Bill don't know. So it's gonna be interesting to see how he reacts to it. But Haley, before I think when Chelsea was talking to her mama, going off on her mama, Haley was trying to urge him to go over there. Talking about some Chelsea finally waking up to Danny or whatever. I see you acting like you ain't the one. Now she had been doing some crazy stuff now. She with the golf club, shooting up stuff. She has been doing that, and that's another thing. Chelsea was like, I thought you was done doing crazy things, to get back at dad and all this other stuff. And she was like, this wasn't about Bill. And she still didn't hear her. She said it wasn't even about Bill. She didn't even know neither one of them was going to be there. But yeah, Haley talking about some, maybe Chelsea finally wising up to her mama and all this other stuff. And I was like, girl, you just sit there. What they be saying, you should be seen and not heard. I don't know if that's how it go. But I said, shut up. You act like you ain't sit up there and cheat with this lady husband. Then the same husband you cheated with is in her face still. And he still ain't told you about the doggone kiss. He's still on hush mode about that. But then, what else happened? Like I said, she tried to urge him to my son. Finally, she finally waking up to Danny and all this other stuff. So he didn't go then. So then I think Chelsea ran out or whatever, and he was just sitting there. Then that's when Danny tried to call Andre, but he said he was in the middle of something or whatever, and she felt some type of way about it. So then she finally went out there where her daughter was at, where Chelsea was at, and she was talking to her, and she ends up confessing that she got a heart broke. She didn't even remember that, I skipped the part. I skipped. We'll get back to it. That the Allison lady didn't remember that she quit modeling. Speaking of Chelsea and Allison, she was still telling that lady about her feelings and stuff like that. Yeah, she was talking to her about her feelings. I don't know what I forgot what she said. What did she say? She was confessing her feelings again and stuff like that. She mentions not modeling no more. Hold on. And that's when Chelsea said, she didn't even remember that she don't model no more, that she quit modeling. And she was like, I don't know, she said that dude name, her husband name was Craig or what, but whoever he is, whoever the man is, she said that's my person. I was like, what you expected though? There's now people do be leaving their wives and husband though, Bill, Bill. So that don't really make a difference nowadays, unfortunately. But yeah, I was like at the same time, like she told you already. Then she said something, if I'm not mistaken, then she said something about she had to run it past her husband before she could get involved with Chelsea. But yeah, Chelsea got offended because she didn't want to not include her husband or whatever or leave him. But I feel like she's gonna come back around. We'll see though. But back to Chelsea and Danny. She ends up talking to her about Allison and everything. That's when Bill came out there to check on her. And she was like, this is a moment for a mother and daughter or whatever. So he ends up leaving and he told Haley about it. He ended up dropping something got dropped and he reached down to get it and his hand was shaking and she finally seen it. Haley finally seen it and she was like, Bill, your hand or whatever. And he was like, oh, it just fell asleep again. It does that sometimes. And I don't know what else she said. But yeah, then she started talking about them, hooking up again, sleeping together or whatever. And I was like, she poisoning him. I'm gonna call it first. She poisoning him. That's what it is right there. She the one did it. That's why she ain't make a big fuss about it, because she the one poisoning him. Now I'm just playing. I don't know, y'all. I'm just guessing. I'm gonna just throw that out there. We'll see what happens. But yeah, she's still talking about. I was like, his hand, like, I don't know. I wonder when he gonna go to the doctor. I want to see Danny reaction. That's what I want to see. Two things I'm looking forward to in regards to Danny and Bill. I'm ready for him to see that she involved with Andre, because we already seen him get upset, get bothered about her kissing Pamela. So now, in the second thing, what was the second thing? I want to see how Danny reacts to Bill handshaking and being sick or whatever it is. I don't know what's going on with his hand, but yeah, I'm ready to see that too. And who else we got? Um, Haley, Bill. I skipped over the fact that when they first showed them, they was just sleeping together, whatever. That's when they decided to go get some food from the country club or whatever kind of club it is. And that's when they seen Danny and Pamela kissing or whatever. Naomi and Jacob, they was meeting up to spend time together. They end up talking about Ashley and Derek. Jacob had to leave, and that's when Derek showed up, and that's when Naomi was trying to tell him or teach him how to be understanding and actually hear Ashley when she talks. But I was like, the thing about that though is when they be giving these folks this advice, it's not just supposed to be one sided. Well, in my opinion, it's not supposed to be one sided or whatever. Because what about his feelings? What about how he feels about how she be acting too? They just need to finally realize that they pulling apart. That they pulling apart. I seen some people say that Derek and Ash is boring. What else? Who else we got? Like I said, Naomi was trying to help Derek and teach him what to say and stuff like that. And don't look like he texted her. Cause they both at the end of the episode, both of them was laying in separate beds, looking at each other's photo or whatever. So, what else? I already talked about Chelsea and Allison, Derek and Naomi, Eva, Dana and Jacob. We talked about that, about how she don't sit up here talking about, so you still love me if you don't get out this girl face. We already talked about Danny and Chelsea. So I think that's everything. Let me make sure though. Let me scan over these notes, y'all. Yeah, I think that's everything, if I'm not mistaken. Haley finally saw his hand shake. Yep, that's it. That's all. Let me know your thoughts down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, this is how girls rest of the day and be safe. Well, wait, I almost ate out. Have a great rest of the night and be safe.